everyone, and this is BioPhoenix here, and today we're going to be doing the pickup video for the month of June 2017. I almost said July because I'm recording this in July. It's actually the first time in a little while that I actually had to delay a video a little bit like this because, well, I was just busy with other shit, and then there's also the fact that I wanted to touch base on at least a little bit of everything other the games that I've gotten. And speaking of that, I'm pretty sure you may have already noticed that the title of this video is actually slightly different than normally. Instead, it's called Discussing Video Game Pickup. So part of the reason why I'm changing up the naming of the pickup videos is because I really want to, emphasize on the fact that this is more about, discussing the games and giving out my first impression on, every game that I got, and, and hopefully that there's going to be some recommendations so that, other people can go out and play these games and, shit like that. I know a lot of people that watch my stuff, are aware of this, but, I just want to make it clear because there's a lot of people out there that think that, pickup videos are nothing but, dick swinging contests and shit. And, they're not wrong. That's very much true. There's a lot of people that do that kind of shit. And, that's just not my thing. Obviously, I'm not going to go out and buy, a shitty, expensive game like Action 52 and be like, hey guys, am I part of the cool club yet? Kind of thing. So, yeah, obviously that's not what these videos are all about. This is all about the games and giving out my first impressions, or just impressions in generals, and hopefully in the future I could do a review on all these games, or even do a stream on them. So, anyways, I just wanted to make that clear first. So, with that being said, now let's get into the pickups. So, the first game we're going to be talking about here are some PS3 games, and this one right here is, Folklore. And before I talk about the game, I actually have a pretty funny story with this one. So, so the first time I ever heard about this game was that it was after I got my PS3 back in 2008, and I went to the game store to obviously get some PS3 games, and I saw this, and I looked at it, and I went, the cover art for this game actually looks really fucking cool. But then I saw the price, and for some reason this game was still like $60 back then, so I was like, I don't know if I want to pay $60 for a game that I don't know jack shit about, because you never know, this game could have sucked really hard. But so I decided to wait and wait and wait until whenever the price did go down. For some reason this game disappeared off around my area for 8 years. I'm not even kidding. This is the first time I've seen a copy in 8 years. So this game is a action RPG where you play as a girl named Ellen, who happens to be a journalist, and you apparently get stuck in another alternate reality where everything looks really weird and very Alice in Wonderland like. It's really interesting. In fact, I gotta say, the art direction in this game is really amazing. I really love it a whole lot. But does the gameplay live up to it? Well, I do think the gameplay is pretty good for the most part. Unfortunately, my only one complaint with the gameplay is that when you want to absorb enemies power, their experience points to get more and such, you gotta use 6-access, which is kind of annoying, and I can see it getting really tedious later on in the game. But other than that one thing though, I do find this game is actually pretty good. I actually do like it quite a lot, and I'm really glad to have finally been able to play it now, and I will want to, do a review of it eventually, but, I gotta get another capture card first. But, yeah, this is definitely one game I definitely do want to review in the future, and I can definitely say now that it's actually a really cool-ass game. So, the next one we got here is, Ghostbusters, the video game, which is, one of the best Ghostbusters games you can get, next to the one on the Genesis and the one on the NES that never came to North America. But, yeah, this one is pretty great, because not only does it play really well for a third-person shooter where you're just busting out some ghosts, but it also just has, the whole charm of, the original movies, considering it still has all, the original actors playing their roles, and, all, the stupid funny jokes and all that kind of shit. It's definitely for a really enjoyable time from what I've played of this. I've also played this with a friend of mine on the 360 a couple years back, and, that was a hell of a good time. I don't know if the online would still work for this game, but, I hope it does, though, but I don't know, I'm not entirely sure. But it is published by Atari, after all, which is kind of amusing. But, yeah, so if you really like Ghostbusters and you haven't played this game, I can definitely recommend it there, because it's definitely a great game for the fans of the movies, and you know what? This is another movie game that does not suck. So the next PS3 game that we got here is going to be the last one, and this is actually one of the few games in this video that I have actually yet to play at all, and that's because it's a part of a series I just need to catch up on, and that happens to be Records of Argus War 2. So, there's 3 of these on PS3. There's 1, and then there's 0, and then comes 2. So, yeah, I've only played the first one. I have it digitally on my PS3, and I thought the game was, it was okay. I don't really remember it too well, but I remember it was just alright. I didn't think it was great, but I didn't really think it was bad. I don't know. It's one I'm gonna have to replay again at some point, but, it is gonna be one of those, game series that I do want to do a review on, and you know, hopefully like the series does get better like as it goes on, because from what I've seen of gameplay on this one, it actually does look a lot better than the first one. It's just from what I've seen anyways. So yeah, that'll be something I will got to do eventually at some point in time. Also, apparently this game has PS Move components, so I don't know how the hell that's gonna work. Alright, so the next game we got here is a PS Vita game, and it's the only one here, and that happens to be Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. So, I'm pretty sure we all know what the Sly Cooper games are all about. You know, good old action platformer with some collectible stuff, and of course some stealth elements, but mostly an action platformer, of course. And, you know, I really like them because, like, not only are they just, like, really fun to pick up and play sort of games, but they're also, just really good time, fun with the whole, like, characters. I find they have some really funny, like, dialogue with some witty humor and all that kind of stuff. You know, I really like that. And this one, like, I find, from what I played of it, it kind of reminds me of, like, Crash 3, because, you know, both games have to do with, like, time traveling and going to, like, different, like, time periods and such. So, you know, that's pretty fucking awesome. And I also have to say, playing this game on the Vita actually plays really fucking good. Like, I'm pretty sure it plays just, like, amazingly on the PS3, but I gotta say, playing this game on a handheld does feel really nice. So if you are a fan of Sly Cooper, but you just happen to not play this one at some point, I can definitely recommend it, because it's definitely been a long time since I've actually, you know, wanted to play this one. We're going to be talking about some PS4 games, and this is the last system of games that we got here, and this one right here is pretty obvious, because I've actually did a stream on it, and that happens to be the Crash Remastered N. Sane Trilogy, which is pretty goddamn insane. So, yeah, this is easily, like, the best thing that Activision has done since, I don't fucking know when, but either way, this is, like, the best thing that they've done, and I freaking love it, and I do plan on doing more streams of this game, so, yeah, I'll just keep it simple and short and sweet, that if you really like the Crash games, but you just haven't, like, got this one yet, I can definitely recommend it. I mean, like, seriously, this is just fucking amazing shit. So, the next one we got here is, Dark Rose Valkyrie. So, this is a turn-based RPG. I've actually put 8 hours into this, and so far, I do think it is a pretty good game so far. So, the game kind of takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where there's like a virus going around turning like everything into monsters. I know it's not the most original thing ever, but I do think the characters are pretty fun and amusing. So you're using like this one guy who just became like a captain and is now like transferring to like, you know, the whole like city that's in quarantined. So after you take care of like a squad for your first time, you gotta use some like big giant ass weapons that kind of look like something out of God Eater, you know, which is pretty awesome. And speaking of that, the person that did the art for Tales of and God Eater actually did the art and costume design for this game, so, you know, that's actually pretty awesome right there. But getting back to the weapon thing, one other thing that also is interesting with this game is that all the weapons in this game all have a side effect to the wielder, where not only do they get some great power with it, but they also get a side effect where they add a split personality, which I think is where this game gets really interesting. You know, I can't really say much more than that though, but so far I'm liking this game, and one only complaint I do have is that whenever your guy's running across the map, he makes like this tiring noise where he's like, like every like few seconds, and it gets really fucking obnoxious. I don't know, I really wish they didn't do that shit at all, but other than that though, I do think this is a pretty good one, though I'm kind of hooked on to Trails in the Sky at the moment, so that's my RPG of choice as of right now. And the next one we got here is one I was not suspecting to getting so soon, but I ended up getting it anyway, because, you know, it's something I really like, and that happens to be Tekken 7. So, yeah, this is actually a really great entry in the series, in my opinion. I think this game is a hell of a lot of fun. The fighting is, like, really fun and, you know, really fast-paced and whatnot. And, of course, I like all the newer characters. The older characters play really well, and I like the customizing your own character. Well, customizing the pre-made characters, anyways. You know, adding in different costumes and such. I think that's a lot of fun. The story mode is, pretty good so far. I haven't gotten too far within it though, because I just haven't had a lot of time to do so, but yeah, all I can say is that this one is just really damn good. Way better than Tekken 6, way better than Tekken 4. I don't know if I'd say it's as good as Tekken 5. I don't know, that one's, it's tough to say because I love Tekken 5, but either way though, this one is just pretty damn good. So the last game in this video is another game that I just have yet to play at all because I still need to beat the first one, and that happens to be Valkyria Revolution. So, you know, I was playing a lot of Valkyria Chronicles, which I think is a really fucking great game. I mean, I love, like, just about everything about it. But, yeah, I got stuck in that game. I'm at a part where I had to take out a giant-ass tank with, like, very few people, and I'm just like, how the fuck do I have to manage that? Well, I'm probably just a dumbass that can't figure it out, but anyway, so that's a game that I really do want to finish, because I love the story in it, and, this game is, I'm not sure where this one falls into the timeline, because I know there's a second one on PSP, and then there's a third one that's also on PSP, but that one's stayed in Japan. So I'm not 100% sure where it is, but, you know, I do want to finish the first one first, because, you know, it's the first, and also, you know, I just really want to see, like, how it ends, because apparently, like, there's, like, a really awesome twist in that game that I really want to see unfold on myself, so yeah, though. But either way, though, the gameplay in this game is basically like a tactical RPG, but it has like a third-person shooter feel to it. It's really interesting and not something you see too often, and I really like it a lot. So, yeah, this is one that I really can't wait to get into whenever I can. And so that'll be the end of this month's pickup video, or pickup discussion video, whatever you want to call it there, because I gotta get used to calling it that now. But either way, though, one thing I'm sure you've also noticed that was different, it's not like I did change this on purpose there, is that I didn't do a shout-out for this month because I didn't get around to actually checking out like any newer channels as of late, so because of that I just didn't do a shout-out, unfortunately. But hopefully next month I'll be able to at least make like one or two. But either way, though, with that being said, as usual, you know, hopefully there are some games in here that you want to check out for yourselves, and you know, all that kind of stuff, or have some good conversations about them if there's one that you've played, and, you know, all that kind of fun shit. And, of course, look forward to some future streams for this month. There's not going to be as much as there was last month, but anyways, though. So with that being said, thanks for watching and commenting, and have yourselves a great day.